Hi, loves. Happy day 3. This is what you're getting today. Me in my pajamas, in my bed, hanging out. What is up in the dark? Literally, all I have on is my salt lamp. Hi, friends. Happy hump day. Happy day 3. Babes, I have not been able to sleep since we started this group. Like, I'm telling you, I am so sleepy, but like, I can't sleep because I'm so excited and there's so many awesome things happening in here, and it's just like, holy fuck. By the way, sorry I'm a couple minutes late. I thought it was 12:30. I really had to go to the restroom. But we're here. Let me take a sip of water. If you guys have never added cucumber to your water, it is so good. Literally, I just have like it's the Target brand of the Brita water filter pitcher, and I just like added cucumbers into the water part of the pitcher, and it's so good. I'm also drinking, I probably shouldn't drink this much longer because it's 12:30, but I have this mushroom coffee. It has like many superfoods and many benefits. It doesn't taste like mushrooms, tastes really delicious. And then I have my CBD in it so I don't feel fucking crazy. Hi, Alexis. So guys, just bear with me today as we go through day 3, because like I said, I have not been able to sleep. I'm like wired and excited and sleepy. So after I do this video today, I will be getting off the internet. So if anybody needs me, I'll be back tomorrow. I have a dinner and an event with a friend tonight, so I'm going to take a nap before that, or do my best to take a bath or something. Anyways, I'm going to stop rambling on about my day and get into day 3. So hi, Alexis, I saw that you said hello. I can't talk. For those of you on live and for those of you listening to the replay, go ahead and say where you're from, one thing you're grateful for today, and what your biggest takeaway was from the homework yesterday with the limiting beliefs exercise. I know Alexis and I were replying back and forth in the chat earlier, and she had some really big breakthroughs when she did the limiting belief exercise yesterday for the homework. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's in the day 2 video, and I've been adding the homework and the description for each live video each day. And guys, if you journal your limiting beliefs, like, the only thing it takes to be successful when you're working with me or working through this process is to be willing to own up to your shit, so to speak. And I'm not saying that like it's bad, because I don't believe anything is bad or good, because that just makes us feel like more guilty, and that's a low vibration. But being able to own the stories that we're telling ourselves, being able to tell yourself a new story, that's all that it takes to be successful. So we're going to talk more about that today. I have my notes with me. We're going to talk about reprogramming your brain so you can clear the shit, make room, make space for it, for what it is that you want, and get what you want. We're going to talk about how to raise your vibes, how to match with the energy of your desires, and more. And just in case I forget to tell you before this video is over, your homework for today is to journal a list of what you can do, weekly and daily for self-care to raise your vibes. So some examples of this, actually, I'm just going to put this in the notes when I get to that point. Hang on. Where did I have that? I didn't organize my notes for today. I thought I did earlier. Raise your vibes. I was just typing in the notes real quick. You guys probably heard that. That was probably really loud. Alexa says, I'm grateful for finally figuring out my limiting beliefs and seeing how fast manifesting can happen. Yes, it can happen so fast. I think I told you guys the story yesterday of how I put an intention out there. Like, so many fucking things. I like helped 7 new clients get started over the weekend. Basically, like, people paid me when I was asleep because I worked some on Friday, and then I took the weekend off and I helped 7 new people. And then like, I put energy on wanting to help new people and also wanting to have more money for something me and my friend were doing. And then this week I found out that this business coach that I really want to work with was doing an event. And what were the other things I manifested? Oh, I've decided I needed a photo shoot because I'm still using photos from like October. and someone to help me with my blog. And I manifested a free photo shoot. I manifested being able to go to this event with this like high-level business coach this weekend. And yeah, all the things. It can happen so quick. Alexa says, I saw an organizer for makeup and didn't have the money for it. Then had an offer to buy my old TV $2 from the price of what that organizer. This all happened within 12 hours. That's fucking nuts, girl. That's amazing. Yeah, guys, the thing is like, we're all powerful manifestors, but we have to get rid of our shit. Like, I think I might have mentioned this in one of the previous videos. The only thing blocking us from getting what we want right now is our belief that we can't have it. So once you can clear that and you can tell a new story and you can just be like, okay, I would really like this, but being detached from it, I'll talk a little bit about that on day 4 about being detached. But if you want to know more about detaching, which is one of the most important steps, you'll need to get the manifesting course that I'll be talking about at the end of the week, because I go through it more in there. You don't need to get it, but if you want to learn more about it, then I would invite you to join us in the manifesting course. But yeah, like once you're detached, you're open and you're clear, like the shit is going to drop in. So let's just go ahead and get into today's lesson. All right, so we're going to talk about reprogramming your brain first. And I was actually listening to a sermon from the church that I used to go to. And although I'm not religious anymore and I don't attend church anymore, I do still watch my old church's sermons because they're really good. And he was talking about how transition can be traumatic. And that is so true, because as humans, let me just double check my notes so I don't forget stuff. We're literally getting rid of old energies, and it's scary for us to move on. Like as humans, we like to have that comfort. We like to have that safety, that security, even if it's shit we don't like anymore, or even if we know we need to let go of it, whether it's a relationship, a friendship, a job, a piece of clothing, whatever it is, like it is scary to let go. So transition can be traumatic, but if you're willing, like I said earlier, to let go of the old so that you can make room for the new, that's where your manifestations will come in. So I mentioned this in one of the previous videos, but it takes about 21 days to reprogram your brain. I think you have better lighting when I have that pulled up. It takes about 21 days to reprogram your brain. And there are many different ways that you can do this. But the most popular, well-known ways that I feel like are the simplest that I personally do are listening to affirmations while I sleep. So before I forget, I'm going to link that up in the comments below. And this is something that I started doing, my coach and healer that I work with, because I have fucking coaches for everything, because if I didn't, I would not get anywhere, because I need that accountability and that mentorship and that support. Where is it at? So she advised me back in November, I think it was, or October, to start listening to these while I sleep. So the one I'm going to share in the comments with you guys is the one I listen to every night. It's called Abundance Accelerator. So literally just put that on when you go to sleep. But like I mentioned before, it takes 21 days. It takes practicing this. You're not going to see instant results right away unless you've already cleared out all the shit. But everything that we're saying and focusing on, like we talked about on day 1, is what we're going to get. So doing these affirmations, listening to them when you sleep, like you don't have to be conscious and awake for it to work. Once I started doing this, guys, like November and December were really big months for me with my business. And part of last year was slower for me than usual. And it was just because I decided to tell myself a new story. I decided to start seeing things differently, that anything was possible. The thing that was holding me back is I was trying to figure out how. And we're going to talk some about that on tomorrow when we talk about control and surrender. So that was blocking me. I was trying to figure out the how, but you don't have to know the how. I talk more about that in the manifesting course. We're not talking about it this week in the free group. But yeah, listen to those. And then other things that you can do are just saying affirmations. Like when I wake up in the morning, I do a quick little meditation. I don't do anything super fucking complicated. I sit there for a few minutes in the silence and I say like my affirmations, like I am abundant, I am loved, I am free, I am this, I'm a millionaire, whatever it is that you want. If you just keep saying those things, talking to your friends about those things, telling people what it is that you're going to do, making your vision board, like that's all literally just getting rid of the old shit. But again, I just feel really compelled that I have to keep telling you. It takes 21 days because your brain is a muscle, just like working out. Like, I woke up to insane, crazy results from our new 20-minute workout program. I've been working out like 2 to 3 days a week, doing intuitive eating, not restricting myself. But because I've been doing that consistently, I woke up to crazy results today. So it takes time. You can't expect it to happen overnight. I'm seeing if there's anything else I want to say about that. That's like the basics of it. I won't talk more about this in this group, but you can reprogram your mind to get what you want. And again, mindset is everything. Success is 80% mindset and 20% action. So you have got to do this if you want to start creating different results. And I want to talk real quick about how it's not actually about the money. Like, you think you want more money, but what you really want is more freedom. What you really want is maybe you want to feel hotter, so you can get those new clothes and that'll make you feel better about yourself. Maybe you want to travel more, whatever it is. It's never actually about the money. It's about stepping into what you believe you are worthy of. Worthiness is the number one block to not manifesting more money. And I don't talk any more about this during this free group, but we do talk more about worthiness and the manifesting course. But it's really, really important to mention that, because you're going to block yourself every time if you don't believe that you're worthy of it. And there could be many different reasons. I encourage you to go back to day 2 and journal out your limiting beliefs and look at that. Like, what is it that's telling you that you're not worthy of it? All right. So let's talk about raising your vibes. Actually, I'm going to switch this around. We're going to talk about matching the energy of your desires first. And again, this is something that I'm only going to talk about briefly in here, but I talk more about it in the Money Manifesting course. All right, I apologize, the Manifesting course. The Money Manifesting course, I'll talk to you more about soon. All right, so like I mentioned in yesterday's video, to get what it is that you want, you have to be at the same vibration with it. Everything is energy. We're energy. My coffee is energy. I need a sip of this. Water is energy. Money is energy. Everything's energy. And the law of attraction is basically like you magnetize to you anything that's the same vibration as you. So this is something that you can't get pissed at yourself about, because you're always doing the best that you can as a human, but you are attracting more of what you are. So if you want to start attracting better stuff, this is why working on yourself and personal development, all the things that I'm going to talk to you guys about in a minute of how to raise your vibration, that's why doing those things consistently is so important. That's why I'm obsessed with doing personal development. That's why I'm obsessed with buying online courses myself. I don't just sell online courses to help people. I buy them myself because it fucking has changed my life. This is why I have coaches for everything. This is why I go to events all the time and conferences, because it has helped me turn into who I need to be to manifest what it is that I want. And that's why I manifested going to this high-level business coaching event this weekend, because I'm working on like up leveling like crazy this year, and I need someone to help me. So you have to be able to match up with it. And the simplest way that I can explain it, like visually, is think about if you're making $20,000 a year right now and you want to make $50,000. Like numerically, you have to go up to get from 20,000 to 50,000. So that's the same thing. Like, you have to get your mindset as the mindset, like, who would you be if you were already earning that money? And action isn't what matters most. Like I mentioned, it's mindset. It's alignment. Alignment means having your mindset right, not controlling things, and not being a fucking crazy person. And like I talked about yesterday, everything that you want is already yours. You just have to tell yourself a new story, because the believing that you're not worthy, or whatever your beliefs are, like I said, that's what's holding you back. And this manifestation process, money manifestation, most people struggle with money manifestation more than other manifestations, but this is something that can become easy. Literally, it can become easy. It's whatever you say it is. Like we talked about yesterday, if you think you have to work hard to make a lot of money, then you're going to keep manifesting that. But if you believe that money can be easy and you say those things to yourself, then that's what it's going to be. Let me just going through my notes again. And a lot of people think like God doesn't have their back or the universe doesn't have their back, and that's why they're not manifesting what they want. But again, we are attracting more of what we are. So this isn't to make anyone feel guilty. I don't believe in guilt because that's, again, a low vibration and that's not going to help you manifest anymore. But it's your own fault. Like, okay, let me change that word. It's our choice. It's our choice to decide that we can manifest what we want. It's not God's fault. God, the universe, angels, whatever you want to call it, like I talked about in day one, they don't know what you're focusing on is if it's bad or good. They just know to give you more of what it is that you're focusing on. So I'm going to talk now about how to raise your vibration so that you can get what you want. And this video is going to be a bit shorter today. I just saw you guys typing into the comments. 20K to 50K is actually my goal. You fucking got this, girl. You can do it as quick as you want. I went at the end of 2014 to beginning of 2015, I went from making $40,000 a year to $140,000 a year. So I basically quadrupled what I was making in just a few months. So it's totally possible. All right, raising your vibes. Hi, Chris. So there's a lot of things I want to say about this. First, I want to talk about you have to start celebrating before your manifestation actually drops in. And I know that might sound weird. And I know, I think it was Nicole that asked this yesterday, like, how do you, I forget how she worded it, but she was asking, like, how do you say no to things without blocking yourself if you don't have the money for it now? But basically, by believing that you can't spend a certain amount of money to celebrate now, whether that's on like a bottle of champagne, a mani-pedi, whatever it is you don't believe you have the money for, even if you have the money at the moment, but you're afraid to spend the money because you're like, oh my God, I have this other thing I have to pay for, then you're automatically telling the universe that you don't believe more is coming in. So this is why every time I've bought an online coaching course, anytime I've purchased, at the beginning of last year, I spent $5,000 on credit cards that I didn't technically have because it was credit cards on buying a money manifesting course and buying 2 coaching packages with my life coach and healer. If I would have never done that, I would not be where I am today. And those were all decisions. I've made similar decisions every single year since starting my online business in 2013. So I know I was talking about celebration, but I felt compelled to talk about this because they really go together. So by me deciding to spend $5,000 on my credit card and investing in myself, I was showing the universe that I was fucking ready. And it's the same thing if you go buy that bottle of champagne or go celebrate with your friend at brunch or whatever it is. Like, you're telling the universe, yes, it's coming in. I'm ready. I believe that more money is coming, because the more you cling on to the money, the more it's going to block the universe from bringing it to you. And the energy and vibration of celebration and fun, that's what helps manifestation drop in quicker, because when you're stressed and when you're controlling, like we'll talk about tomorrow on day 4, you're going to block it every single time. Also, when you spend any money, when you pay your bills, celebrate that shit. Because if you're spending money and paying your bills with a vibration and energy, a feeling, a thought, whatever the fuck you want to call it, of guilt or overwhelm, or how am I ever going to make enough money to do this, or how am I ever going to get more money, or oh, these bills suck, or oh, this sucks, or money sucks, you're just going to keep attracting more of that. So you really, 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 really have to look at what is your relationship with money. Like, go write that shit down today. Make that your bonus homework assignment. Excuse me one second. And this is something that every time I've up-leveled my business and manifested more money, it's because I changed how my relationship with money and how I was viewing it when I spent money. So now when I'm paying my bills, I just like do a happy dance and I'm like, fuck yes, thank you, universe, because my rent here in LA is like almost $3,000 a month. $3,000 a month for rent, almost like $2,600. So instead of like freaking the fuck out, like, oh my gosh, this is so much money. Like, I've been paying that much money for rent for like 4 years now. Excuse me, from all the places I've lived. I'm like, fuck yes, I get to live in this beautiful, abundant, luxury, nice ass apartment that makes me feel like a badass bitch. So I celebrate that shit. And like, I have credit card debt again. paid off all my debt a few years ago, but I got into credit card debt again on purpose. Like I told you guys about when we talked about how debt isn't bad and it can actually really help you. I spent like $30,000 to $50,000 on credit cards last summer when I moved here to LA. And instead of like being like, oh my God, this is, how am I ever going to pay this off? How, like freaking the fuck out. I'm like, fuck yes, I got this badass Jeep convertible. Like I love it. It was the exact one on my vision board. Fuck yes, I have this beautiful apartment filled with all these amazing things. Like, thank you, God. Thank you, universe. Thank you, angels, for giving me that money. And I'm so glad I get to spend my money on this bill. Does that make sense, everybody? You guys are quiet today. I feel like I must be triggering some people. Or maybe you're just not sure what to say and you're overwhelmed with all the things. You know, being able, again, I'm going to say this again, like the only thing that you need to get success working with me is a willingness to see things differently and a willingness to look at your shit. And like I was saying earlier, like I think money is probably the hardest for most people. I get it. Like I've been through it myself and I still have stuff I'm working on clearing so that I can make my $15 million this year and get my beach house and all of these things. But being willing to look at that, like it's not fun. It's not easy. I've gone through so much shit the last couple of years every time I up level, but looking at that is what is going to help you get to where you want, because you can't keep doing the same things and telling yourself the same fucking stories and staying in this loop that keeps repeating. And 6 months from now, you're not going to have anything different. You're just going to be where you are because you weren't willing to change. That's what I always tell myself too. Like anytime I spend money on something, like when I spent that $5,000 last year to buy a course and buy coaching packages so that people could help me get to where I want, I was like, okay, this is pretty scary, but hang on, I lost my train of thought with that. What was I going to say? I don't know what the fuck I was going to say, but basically it's just like being willing to see things differently, being willing to look at it. I know what I was going to say. Like doing those things is what helped me move past my shit that I had and help me up level and get all the things that I wanted last year. So last, let's talk about how to raise your vibration so that you can match with the energy of what you want and get it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I don't know why you guys are so quiet today. Hello, Vanessa. Oh, excuse me. So I talk a lot about this in the manifesting course, but I'm just going to go over it for a couple of minutes here today. But essentially, to raise your vibration, it's anything that makes you feel better is like an elementary way to say it. Not elementary, but you know what I mean, a basic way to say it. So working out. Working out is the number one way that you can raise your vibration really quickly, really high, and accelerate manifestation of your desires dropping into this physical reality. This is why I love working out. I used to fucking hate working out. Even though I'm a wellness coach, I hated it for years. Like, I loved the benefits of it, but I hated doing it. And now I actually love doing it. Like, I get excited for it. I'm taking a rest day today because I really need it. But what changed for me is last year I told myself that I would start working out for my mental health instead of working out to be a certain size or have a six-pack or whatever, weigh a certain number. And that was what changed for me. That's when I started actually loving working out and becoming more consistent with it. I talk more about that in the course, but there's lots of other things that you can do. Food is like also the number. I feel like food and fitness are the top things. I feel like that goes together. Like your wellness, if you're not working out consistently and if you're not eating the right foods, your vibration is going to be low, or it's not going to be where it is that you need to be and want to be to manifest what you want. It's the same thing for me with food as it was with fitness. Like I used to have binge eating, like eating disorders. I struggled with food my entire life until last year. I'm 31 years old and I started doing intuitive eating, and I started eating to make myself feel better instead of eating for a six-pack. And now I eat healthier than ever and I fucking love it. Now, I'm not saying you can't eat bad food ever. I ate red velvet cupcakes last night and they were amazing and delicious. And the night before I had like these burger sliders and truffle fries. Tonight I'm going to dinner with a friend And I'm definitely going to have a cocktail, and we're going to an Italian restaurant, so I'm sure there's going to be carbs involved. But what I eat the rest of the time is all clean foods. And I feel like shit if I don't eat right. So some other things that you can do are, these are just some things that I do. Like I drink superfoods every single day. I have CBD every single day. I have an all-natural pre-workout that I have every single day, which that's honestly like the biggest key as well that helps me be motivated to work out. You can spend time in nature. That's one of the other big ones. Baths, mani-pedis, like anything that makes you feel better. Laughing with a friend, like laughter and having fun are huge. Like we talked about earlier, you know, if you're too serious and if you're controlling and working and doing too much, you're just going to block what you want from coming in. So I talk a lot more about all of those things and how you can do it in the manifesting course. And that's what I have for you guys today. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about control and surrender. And on day 5, the last day is Friday, we're going to talk about how if you focus on it, it must come. And then tools and resources that are coming up next. So your homework for today is to journal a list of what you can do daily and weekly for self-care to raise your vibes. So just to give you guys an example, some of mine that I do daily are my meditation, my journaling. I don't do these every single day, but most days I do these. My superfoods, my CBD. What are the other ones? Working out most days. Nature is something, when I lived in Hawaii, I was so good at being in nature, and now I don't know why, I'm like a mile and a half from the beach, but that's one that I'm improving on. I'm really good at self-care too, like mani and pedis are my jam. So that's something that I obviously don't do every single day. I do it like every other week. Fun with friends. Yeah, so share your homework in the comments below. Let me know if you guys have any questions coming in. Like I said, I'm getting off the fucking internet the rest of today. So I'll see you guys tomorrow on day 4. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the group.